Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Sunday League Pundits channel. We're back with another live stream after just previewing tomorrow's matches in the UCL. Tonight was an eventful night. I have Chaitanya with me. All of you know he's a Barca fan, so probably not the best time for him to be reacting to the match. But I'll go straight to the Barca match. What are your thoughts, Chaitanya?
Shambolic. Like you can't expect defenders from Barca to be playing like PK and Longley. They are absolute pieces of shit. They know nothing what's going on. The second goal which they conceded, PK, I don't know what he's trying to do. Even in the first goal, you don't do any body movement. Just think that you're matrix, and then something is going to happen to you and Longley. I don't know what the hell was he doing in the first goal after while conceding the first goal. Overall, uh, there was not a single aspect of the game in which you could have appreciated Barca's display today. PSG weren't very good. Barca were bad, especially the defense. Serginho Dest was half decent. Alba was decent. Apart from that, Busquets was easily conceding, giving away possession. De Jong was good. Dembele was silent throughout the match. Messi did not have much of an impact. Pedri was decent, putting in efforts, showing them the body. Griezmann's contribution was also negligent.
I think Griezmann had only one chance where he, just hit it past the far post when Barcelona broke. I think it was a good Pedri passed it to Griezmann, and I think he shot just wide. But up till then, I think in the first half, I was also tuning into the whole match. The first half, Barcelona started on a decent note. You are right that PSG weren't great, but I
The
think
match started with the and Mbappe was on a very high tempo. The first ball that was played back to the first ball which was played by Verratti and Mbappe couldn't control. Ter Stegen came forward to clear but failed miserably. But luckily we did not concede a goal that time. But after that, after getting the lead for 2 to 3 minutes, we thought that Barca are in the game when Dembele had a very lazy attempt on a target, and then after that it was all PSG. As soon as the first half got, even in the towards the end of the first half, we saw Icardi with the header that could have gone in. The defense was horrible; they couldn't mark anything, and same happened with Keane's goal. I don't know where the defenders were. Longley went towards Marquinhos. Keane got the space over here and headed directly in. Mbappe with the first goal was poor defending. Second goal was also poor defending. Third goal was poor defending. And third goal, we in the last goal we couldn't blame anybody because the players had gone all in attack, so that they could just reduce the deficit that was there. Like PSG had already scored 3 away goals back then, and now then when the fourth goal came in, now I think the tie is almost over because we do not have a manager like Luis Enrique, and the players are not inspiring enough these days. Like Griezmann is a world class player, but I don't see him inspire the youngsters like Neymar did. Suarez was there, Messi. All of these players inspired. Then we had Mascherano. We don't see like PK has lost his leadership qualities. I think he should not be donning the Barcelona jersey anymore after today's display. Like even after Bayern's display, it came as a shock that PK has been offered a contract worth 10 million euros per annum. And that was all but Bartomeu's tactics to keep himself in the presidential run and keep Messi happy, keep PK happy.
I think you're visibly distraught, so I don't want to ponder on the fact too much. But before I make my point, I want to come to the live chat. It's happening. Loudmouth Uday is reacting. He's saying you'll never walk alone. So we'll come to Liverpool's match just after we finish talking about Barca's match. But Liverpool, I think, unexpected to a few people, they did get a fairly easy win. But I also had that match in the background as well, and I seeing how Leipzig play. They are very open, and I like Liverpool's both of the goals that Liverpool scored. I think they were done to very similar when the last man didn't clear. I think in the second goal, Mukiele, he missed clearing the ball and Mane slotted in, and even the first goal, I'm not sure who was the player who did not manage to clear the ball, but Salah scored in a very similar manner. So Liverpool, they were clinical, and it's a clean sheet for them with Kabak and Henderson starting. So I think that will do them their confidence a world of favor. But yeah, say Som Joshi here. I think he's Utkarsh's friend. And he's saying Utkarsh kahan hai? Obviously, Utkarsh is not here. I told you guys that he's at a wedding, but he will be in hiding after tonight's result. And yeah, but coming to coming to the fact about Barcelona, I think there were two dodgy goals in the match, sort of like the penalty which De Jong got. I think there was minimal touch, if any, because they are different angles. So the penalty was eventually given, but there was some question marks as to did De Jong trip himself or there a slight touch by Kurzawa. And first goal scored, the second goal scored by Mbappe, where on the replay he actually looked offside. Florenzi looked offside, but he was in fact on after VAR reviewed it. So, but apart from that, I think the man of the moment is Kylian Mbappe.
without
Mbappe
any.
had amazing performance. I think every time he had the ball, Barca looked in danger of conceding, and he was, tearing the left flank apart, and it was like a truly
Had
world class
Serginho
performance.
Dest not been there, had Serginho Dest not been there, and coach Genius Koeman would have played Oscar Mengueza over there, we would have conceded 2 or 3 goals easily, like more.
I think
Like we would
I
have
think
conceded.
even if Semedo was there, so according to we saw what happened against Bayern. So if Semedo was there, it would have
Semedo
been.
had pace but did not have the thinking capacity to stop players like Mbappe. But Dest did a pretty reasonable job in stopping
I think
Mbappe.
given his age as well, I think Dest had like though it's hard to pick out good performances in such a you know like in such a dominant result, but Sergio Dest was quietly consistent in the match. He
Like,
didn't. I
what
didn't think he
PSG
did
did
many.
throughout the first half was like Marquinhos got the ball, and we know his pinpoint long balls that directly come to players on their side. So what he was doing is he created some room for himself. Mbappe drifted wide. Serginho Dest was a little towards the inside, and he used to come up with the long balls. That did not work a lot because Dest was clearly stopping Mbappe from making the inwards in the first half. So second half they gradually shifted their tactics. They started playing more from the inside itself. And that's what created problems for Barca because PK and Longley are in horrible shape right now. And I don't know what got into Koeman and started PK, like considering his injury. Like he was injured for the last 3 to 4 months, had no game time experience, started training a week ago, and you do not expect somebody to be out for 3 to 4 months and then train only for a week and come back in such a high intensity match. So I think the decision making by Koeman was questionable over here, and plus taking out Serginho Dest was also questionable because when you're 3 goals down, you need attacking threat, which Oscar Mengueza doesn't provide. His pace isn't there, his crossing ability isn't there, his attacking intelligence isn't present. Serginho Dest, on the other hand, is half decent attacker, not as good as Star or the likes of Ricardo Pereira, but he is a decent player with the ball in the final third. But and also Dembele did not have a very good match. Like we usually see Dest or Mengueza combined with Dembele on the right side of the pitch to creating chances for Barcelona. So I think Barca need to get their defense sorted. Koeman needs to come out with the best possible defense that he can play, be it a 3 man or a 2 man set, like a 4 man defense. He needs to find out like PK is not the right man for the job.
I
Neither
think
is
Dembele's miss was sort of reminiscent of like I think when we had the preview we touched on the fact that in the match which Liverpool came back against Barca, uh, Dembele had won that one-on-one chance with Alisson, which he if he had scored, Barca would have won that match because they only needed a goal. And in this match as well, it was a very tame shot from him because you expect him to because he is a very two-footed player, so you expect him to at least trouble the goalkeeper, and he just gave it
it's like
into his
he
hands.
shouldn't have gone first time. Like Messi had taken the defender with him, provided the
Hmm.
ball to Dembele. Dembele, given his dribbling prowess and his speed, he should have taken a step or two with a touch and then gone for the attempt. Then there was clear goal scoring chances, but I don't know what gets into him. His decision making is questionable at times. He is a very talented player, but like Mbappe is also a very talented player, but Mbappe has the mental acumen when to attack, when to pass, when to dribble. Dembele seems to lack in that front a lot. Even like Trenkyao came very late in this game, but he had a decent run, like in which he dribbled past 3 or 4 PSG players. So I think, given the form, if Trenkyao continues this form, I would start Trenkyao over Dembele in the next leg.
Coming,
Although
just I want
very well
want to come to the
fit.
live chat. Yeah, so Uday's made another point that Barcelona scored the most goals and have created the most chances this season in their league. But I think defensively they need to sort their crap out. I think he's hit the nail on the head here, Uday, because even in the preview we discussed, that Barca attacking wise they are the highest scoring team in the league in La Liga, and they have won all of their matches since the start of the new year. So I was expecting Barca to have come with more flair in the attack, which was evidently lacking, because I think the reason for that is that they lost the midfield battle, which is like obviously crucial. Today, Paredes, I was observing Paredes because he was a very quietly consistent player in terms of carrying the ball and doing the simple passes. And Verratti obviously did what he does best. He was very feisty in the middle. He was winning the ball back. I think he had that challenge on Pedri in just on the edge of the 18-yard box, which it was a very crucial challenge. So there was such moments from Verratti where he was chipping in defensively as well, and he was playing those passes which he does as he has done as for the entirety of his PSG career. But like I think the midfield battle was crucial, and even when Herrera came on in the second half, I think he did pretty well. He is a very smart player in that getting those easy fouls and breaking up the play, which he used to do in United as well. And I think that's what Tuchel also utilized him for, and even Pochettino is doing now. So, but coming to Pochettino, I think Pochettino has slightly more Champions League experience than Koeman, given this is like Koeman's first time in at the Champions League knockout stages. Pochettino पहले खेला हुआ है. He obviously Spurs
He's
को
a
लेके.
finalist with a team like Spurs, so we know what he is capable of doing. And so, like, there over here, sorry, the Loudmouth show Instagram,
Yeah,
yeah,
Ozil. Yeah,
over here he's written like, is Mbappe a world class player or a world class talent? 2 seasons ago, he was a world class talent. But see, looking at his consistency, scoring in the big games, chipping in goals, playing a very mature game, at times he looks more mature than Neymar, winning in the fouls and not unnecessarily diving for the ball without the ball, not losing his cool. We've never seen Mbappe lose his cool. So Mbappe, I think, has become a world class player now over the last couple of seasons. He is very mature and he's won the World Cup. He's won everything except for the Champions League. Last year, he was in the finals. He was very close to winning the Champions League as well. But he has consistently been performing, like scoring away goals in Champions League of hat trick at Camp Nou. I don't think in my memory anybody has scored a hat trick at Camp Nou. Nobody.
I think Barcelona's knockout record in the Camp Nou is very stellar. I think last season's loss to Napoli, and this today's loss is I think
No, no,
only.
no. We did not lose to Napoli. We
No, sorry,
won,
they didn't lose to Napoli. I'm
won
sorry.
against Napoli
Yeah,
3-1.
but I
But
think in the
we
last
drew
20.
Napoli. We drew. So the last time we lost in a knockout game at home was Bayern 2012 3-0.
Yeah.
2012,
So
2013.
obviously it's been 8 years. I think Chaitanya is right. Barcelona's knockout record in at the Camp Nou is very like stellar.
It's
So
been three knockout games, I guess, since Barcelona has lost a game.
So I think yeah, you're right on what you're saying, because Barcelona's form at the Camp Nou is always good. Even last season when we were questioning them coming into the Napoli fixture, they were pretty good. They did beat Napoli quite convincingly.
But yes, that was a very convincing win for Barca. Like Barca going 3-0 up in the first 40 minutes, then later on Rakitic conceded a penalty, but second half was a no-show for Napoli also. But after that, like after today's display, I think Barcelona's chances of winning a silverware is almost over because we are 2-0 down to Sevilla at Copa del Rey. But who knows? Like a miracle might work for us. But Champions League, I think the chances are very slim. I wouldn't say 100% out, but yes, it's an 85-15 for Barca now, like against Barca.
I think yeah, Utkarsh is asking of saying is there any chance of progressing in the second leg burst. I think like if you compare it to what happened in that La Remontada, which happened, well, that is one of it's very difficult for that to happen again. Plus that was PSG's winning 4-0 at home, so they didn't have any away goals to their benefit. This time they have four away goals, so I think for Barca to overturn that deficit, they have to score four at PSG without conceding. So I think that
Check
is going.
the players that Barca had at that time. We had
Yeah,
Neymar
the players they had at yeah, obviously. That how
and
can like I miss that? They had Neymar, they had Luis Suarez in his prime at that point of time.
Iniesta in the mid. Busquets was also a way better player. We had Umtiti who was performing in and out, and then Mascherano was like Mascherano can be called as a leader. Without the arms band, he was always motivating the players, which certainly lacks from PK's front. He is the most experienced player in the defense. I have never seen like Gerard Piqué in this bad a shape. I've been watching Barcelona for 12 to good 12, 13 years now, and Gerard Piqué has never been so bad that he is today. Like even what earlier Gerard Piqué used to do was to distribute the ball nicely, but now what he's doing, he gets the ball, either he gives away the ball or passes it to Longley. So which kind of hampers the game speed also for Barcelona a lot these days.
I
So
think he was facing an uphill task when he came against such players as I think Icardi was not in on his best form. He was playing a good role in playing the ball like laying the ball off to Mbappe and the likes of Moise Kean. But if you consider the fact that PK he is obviously 34 if I'm not wrong, and obviously his legs are slowly going. And in a match of this magnitude, I think Koeman was slightly naive to put him in, though he has like he's the most experienced defender in their backline by far. But it is still an uphill task facing such a speedy front line, and coming back from injury, and it was a lengthy layoff for him as well.
exactly, like
So
you don't pitch in a player who's been out for a very lengthy period or long period of time. Like even Messi, I it was 2015-16 seasons Clásico when Barca won 4-0 at Bernabeu when Neymar, Suarez, and Iniesta ran havoc at the Bernabeu. So at in that match, Messi was out for 2 months with an injury, came back in, but he was only used as a substitute. You can't play a person who's been out for 3 months over on this such an high intensity match. You don't expect good results from him. Seeing PK, he has been off throughout the season. Even the goal which he conceded at Atletico Madrid, it was part Ter Stegen's fault and part PK's fault. So I
I
think
think
he should.
Araujo, yeah,
Sorry, go
Araujo
ahead.
as well has been a miss for Barcelona. He was injured, and I was expecting Umtiti to come in for this match, but obviously, like Umtiti is like if you compare him to PK, he is also somebody who's just sort of found his fitness, and he has had more injury problems than PK. Obviously, almost the entire of last season he was not there, and Umtiti is that is I think Umtiti's injury struggles were like the reasons why Barcelona brought Lenglet, and Longley, obviously, he had sort of a bright start to his career at Barcelona, but I know how vocal you've been in how like him being not up to the standards of Barcelona, and he's really his positional sense I think was called in question like multiple times today, and they were lucky not to concede at some times, but even in the goal that the header that Moise Kean scored, Longley was very weak. He could have headed the ball, and he did not do that. In Mbappe's first goal as well, he was pretty static where he could have reacted earlier. So, what do you think about Langley?
You know what I think about Langley.
Yeah,
Like
I know it.
person, I hate him like anything. Even if he puts on a 10 on 10 show, we wouldn't appreciate Longley. What Longley does is even after the first, like when Barcelona conceded the first goal, so we could see it was like the ball came to Mbappe. What Longley could have done was drag Mbappe wide, but what he did, he instead came out with his right foot and just brought it back inside, which gave Mbappe the running space. And with a player like Mbappe, you don't expect him to miss from 3 yards, and he just bams on the top, goes top corner and then goes on to score. And Longley is standing like shit. And then even there was this opportunity towards the end of the second half or the start of the end of the first half or the start of the second half when PK loses the ball and then tries to catch Mbappe. He loses Mbappe, then Longley loses his footing. It was Ter Stegen's good save after a deflection from Jordi Alba. So Longley is not even Southampton level good.
I think that's a pretty damning statement of Longley's performance. But let's come to the live chat again. And Utkarsh is asking whether Haaland or Mbappe. Obviously, they are quite different players for me. I don't know what you think, Chaitanya, but Haaland is more out and out forward, and Mbappe is capable of coming in from the wing as well as playing up front. So, and I think Mbappe himself has the ability to change the game as like being this difference maker than Haaland, because what we saw in last season's Champions League as well in the round of 16 when Dortmund came up against PSG, and in the first leg, when Dortmund were very fluid in the attack and even the midfield was playing well, Haaland was, obviously able to wreak havoc, and he scored that, two belters in the first leg. But in the second leg, for a striker, the importance is that he has to get the service, and for Haaland not to get the service, it's difficult for him to perform. Whereas Mbappe, he can grab the game by the scruff of the neck, and he can actually, run at the fullbacks and also, run through the center as well. So I think he's a player who has actually proven himself at the World Cup as well, how dynamic he is. So I think for me, I would prefer Mbappe because he is, slightly more versatile and more dangerous than Haaland. But obviously, we all know how dangerous Haaland is.
Always, yes. True, like both are exceptional, like both are generational talents. That is what I would like to put them under this. Like they are the players who can change the game when it comes to their own. Like Haaland, despite being only 20, has a game goal ratio of more than one, which is phenomenal, and is the fastest to reach 10 Champions League goals. And not to forget, he started his career with Salzburg, scored against Liverpool, I guess,
Yeah.
when Liverpool were at the prime peak, so-called peak. So yes, but I would definitely go with Mbappe over Haaland.
And yeah, it's also like Uday quite vocal in the comments. He's also talking about Mbappe, like should he play, whether he moves to Real Madrid and where does he play? And so obviously Madrid and Barcelona both are in a financial turmoil right now. They don't have the funds. Barcelona more so because we all know, like recently the figures were published on how much they owed, over £1 billion in debt. So and a lot of it is has to be dispensed with before Barcelona can make any sort of signing. And even a player like Memphis Depay, which a lot of people were touting him to join, and not a lot of people as well, even like the likes of Fabrizio Romano were touting him to join Barcelona, and they could have got him for less than 10 million euros because his contract is ending this summer. But still, Barcelona weren't able to make that move because they had to offload some players, and they weren't able to do that sufficiently. Though Semedo was sold and the likes of Suarez were sold, but is currently sold on a free, and they are still to receive money. They are going to really like performance related
Mhm.
compensation from Atletico, but that is still not yet to be received by them. And also, Ashish Paliwal is back in the comments as well. He's saying Vizca Barca, and he's okay. I won't read that because obviously, and he's saying Klopp out. I don't know, like that's harsh
It's very
criticism of
hard to
Klopp.
satisfy this man. Very hard to satisfy this man. I don't know which manager got more glory to their club. Their club was shit, was standing eighth in the table, and Klopp King comes in, takes some time, 2 seasons, and third season, bam. They're in the finals of Champions League. Next season, they win the Champions League. A season after that, they win the Premier League, which hasn't happened over the last 30 years. So I think yes, and then Loudma, like they're saying Klopp is a lifer now. FSG can't chuck him out. I don't think FSG can afford to chuck him out because
Yeah,
Klopp, the way he's managed, build his relationship with all the players and the crowd. So if he goes, I think the crowd is gonna give a proper protest like they gave for Messi because he is the manager. Like I don't think any other manager could do better for Liverpool than
I
Klopp
think
has.
FSG won't take that risk, obviously, and I don't think that Ashish is obviously joking right now. I'm pretty sure, but like the Klopp, obviously, if you won't be saying too much if you're saying Klopp deserves a statue. Obviously, if somebody's bringing league trophy to them after 30 years, and he has said he's going to leave in 2024 when his contract expires. So I think that is what will happen. And they were like some sort of comparisons with Klopp, similar to his time at Dortmund when they won the title and when they hit the peak. How they fell off was quite it was like an accelerated drop off, and it really went to shit, you can say, very quickly. But obviously, you can't say that at Liverpool right now. Obviously, we have to judge him at the end of the season. And even if there is a situation where Liverpool get knocked out of the Champions League and they don't finish in the top four, which is unlikely for me, and they still won't sack Klopp. I think that is going to be like a very, very stupid decision, and one which FSG won't be stupid enough to take as well. And okay, now the loudmouth is now at United. Okay, I don't want to talk about United. This is Champions League nights. We're going to be talking about them in Europa League nights now. He's saying with Ole at the wheel next year they get Europa again. I don't think they will finish in Europa this time. We'll get the Champions League spots. But coming on to, I think, do you want to talk? Do you have any other points to make about Barcelona? Chetan?
We've covered everything. We've covered defense, shit, mid, semi shit, attack, toothless. Today, like Barcelona 2021 has been very promising. Like in the league, they've played phenomenally well. Be it Griezmann, be it Renka, be it Messi, be it Dembele. Everybody has performed out and out. But yes, the concern remains over Barca's defense. Even in last week, when they won 5-1, the goal that they conceded was defensive error where De Jong stepped in way a little too high for his pace to cover back, and then A week before that against Betis when we won 3-2 away to Betis. Again, it was defense that conceded those two goals. So yes, attack is not an issue for Barca. It's the defense that is causing a lot of concern. And Koeman needs to reconsider his options now. Hopefully Araujo would be back by then. So yes, Araujo is there, and we need a partner for Araujo, be it Longley or Umtiti.
I think yeah, the live chat is going wild about Klopp going out. Obviously, that was a very unnecessary conversation initiated by Ashish, one which he was not also serious about. And I think it's all of us can easily agree that Klopp isn't going anywhere. And Uday is talking about Klopp in FSG in or out. Okay, or FSG, their ownership is still a little questionable because of the fact that they haven't really chucked the actually spent big. If you factor out that if Coutinho hadn't been sold, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have signed Van Dijk or Alisson because that was financed largely by Coutinho's transfer fee. And apart from that, they haven't really spent big. I think they did buy Salah, they did buy Mane, but that is the ceiling, 40 to 45 million. They didn't really go above that. But before we come to Liverpool's match against Leipzig, I just wanted to just reiterate Chaitanya's point about Marquinhos. I think he was probably the standout defender for PSG because the way he was able to easily bring the ball back forward from the back as well as play those diagonals as well. It was very it was very effective for PSG, especially in terms of releasing Mbappe and Moise Kean at the wings. So Marquinhos had a very consistent game, and I think he has been very consistent for PSG, especially in Europe. And he is stepping into the centre back shoes, being a leader after Thiago Silva's departure. So yeah, that was my point. But now we want to come to Liverpool and Leipzig, and we are since the conversation in the live chat is about Liverpool and Leipzig. So do you want to say something about Liverpool's result for next season?
Achint, I was watching the Barcelona game, so I don't think I'm in a place to react right now. But yes,
Yeah, I was going through the match of the Liverpool match. Because it was on in the background, not as much as the Barcelona and PSG match I was paying attention, but I did pay attention to it and I did go through it. And it was obviously a very open match. There were so many chances at both ends. Leipzig hit the post early on, and in the inside of the post, and they could have gone ahead. But it was a very open match because both of them, as we touched upon previously when we were reacting to the draw, that both of them are sides which apply pressure very early on, and Leipzig's formation is very dynamic in the sense that they are not consistently maintaining their formation, and they did play three at the back today with Upamecano, and I think sort of the shortcomings of this formation. The shortcomings of this formation is the fact that it's very easy to exploit if you're not if you lose the ball because Leipzig push up a lot. Uh, Leipzig push up a lot, and they are not able to maintain. And if they lose the ball, they and their high line, they are able to be easily exploited because Mane and Salah, we saw how they scored their goals, and they were very easy goals for them. Obviously, they were one on one with the keeper, and you do expect them to come out on top. And that's what I wanted to say. Obviously, we didn't pay much attention to the fact to the Liverpool and Leipzig match, and Uday is making a lot of points about the match. So I think we'll end the stream sort of prematurely now. It's obviously late as well, so don't want to be keeping our small low number of viewers up. But I think thank you for coming on, Chaitanya, at
my
such short notice.
yeah,
As I know it's hard for you to come on right now because of the result, but it's
that
obviously a
was
great match for neutral fans like me at this point. But
neutral fan.
obviously, I was a neutral fan.
Moderate fans is neutral over here.
No, I'm not a Madrid fan, so obviously, but it was a great Champions League night, and looking forward to tomorrow's matches. So I think everybody who tuned in so late, a big thanks to all of you, especially Uday and
Sheesh.
Ashish, not Ashish obviously, and even
So we
Rishabh
had
and yeah, Som as well. So all of you, thank you for coming in so late, and telling us your thoughts on the match. And be sure to stay tuned to our channel because we're going to be reacting live to tomorrow's results as well. And thank you once again, and please share this video with other people so they they also can let us know their thoughts on the match as well. And if you want more of this content, please sure to subscribe to the channel. And uh, that's pretty much it. So thank you, everybody.